definitely a great summit, a great attendance, very interesting topics being discussed. Well, I think the major discussion that took place here was around the digital transformation of the telecom players and the new role that they will play in this new hyper-connected digital economy that we're stepping into. So discussions were around the evolution of the business models and what kind of business, if you want, models the operators will want to implement going forward. Will they compete in the digital services market, or will they focus on infrastructure? Will they play in the enterprise or the consumer? There is a lot of debate right now, and I think different players are going to take different routes. Then the discussion moved on naturally to the key topic, the key buzzword right now, which is the 5G, of course, with imminent deployment happening in the second half of this year and then on to the next year. And the whole thing is, again, around whether 5G will be an evolution or a revolution, right? And I think, again, here, despite all the debates and the different ideas, I think one can draw a consensus, which is initially 5G will be an evolution, will provide additional capacity, fixed wireless access, and will provide higher speeds for certain consumer applications like gaming, for example, or 5K videos. But then the most interesting part is the one that is going to happen in the I would say second phase, and that is the revolution when operators will really deeply transform into digital service providers and will start providing real-time, on-demand digital services and will act as the backbone that will connect the digital economy, connecting factories and healthcare institutions and cars and so on. And this is where really the innovation will happen and a lot of the additional revenue streams will come on and that will come in. And that will rely, of course, on fiber connectivity. That is another topic that was discussed here, because all these hyper connectivity with bandwidth hungry applications will require this kind of fiber to be laid out, and will require also an ecosystem of innovative startups to fuel that innovation and to deliver the digital applications of tomorrow. On our side, I would say, MYCOM OSI, we wanted always to shed the light on the transformation that is required on the operational side with the operators, because to become digital service providers, they will need to compete in the web economy, they will need to automate massively, they will need to open up their networks with open APIs, they will need to adopt innovative approaches and processes with DevOps, and agility into the cloud, and they will need to really transform into real-time digital operations. And that is key. They need to think of it from now, because otherwise it will be later on, it will be a hindrance. It shouldn't be an afterthought. Well, you get different responses from different operators. Some of them are really taking bold moves. They want to make first mover. To take that first mover advantage, so they are being very, I would say, proactive in making this transition happening, and they are facing internal cultural barriers, but I would say they are shaking their own organizations. They are bringing a lot of external talent from the cloud world, from the enterprise SaaS world, from the AI ecosystem, and then injecting all of this in their organization. Some others are seeing this as a more a longer term slow evolution, and that they will, I would say, they will live with that risk. So some of them are taking more risks and can expect more rewards versus the others. But the first ones have started. I mean, the ones that are taking those bold moves, 3 in the UK, an example I gave here this morning, launching a fully virtualized core network. We have Rakuten in Japan, we have the South Korean operators, we have few others.
Vodafone, do you have Vodafone as well?
Yes, definitely. And for example, you take an operator like Vodafone that we working with, Vodafone in the UK, are now also engaging in this kind of fully digital transformation with massive automation, and all the intelligence behind it is in the public cloud in AWS. And this is a model that we are right now, I would say, promoting with our customers, with the operators, that they need to put this intelligence in the cloud. They need to be more agile. They need to scale. They need to implement artificial intelligence at scale, and that can only happen in the cloud.
And it needs to happen now.
And absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. This needs to happen now, because this needs to be to be put in place before, I would say, as a key prerequisite for launching these digital services on 5G and being able to do the real-time slicing and offering all these like additional services to, for example, to the Industry 4.0 or to the car industry, for example. So definitely something to be thought of and executed now in order to reap the benefits in the coming 2 to 3 years. At MWC, we've announced our SaaS offering because right now we moved on. We are in our space, we are the first in the whole assurance, orchestration and management space of networks. We are the ones to move completely to the cloud and to launch a SaaS offering, software as a service, in partnership with AWS. So we've announced it jointly with AWS, and we've already, we're seeing fantastic traction in the market with operators. So when you have a 3 or Vodafone or operators like Globe in the Philippines and many others adopting it, it tells you something. It tells you that this is happening now, and there is this resistance that we had in the past is no longer there, because operators are seeing, what we've announced is how we could move deployments that used to take 9 months. We're shrinking them into like a couple of weeks. This is the 9 months to 2 weeks. So it's the time to revenue, the time to value is unbelievably reduced. And then not only this, but it gives you the ability also to innovate, because you can try new things. And if they don't work, you just scrap them, and then you reconfigure your resources and you start something new. So you're not bound to this heavy infrastructure that is wired, that takes months to reconfigure and so on. So you can try, you can take risks, you can launch services very fast. I mean, the pace at which you can launch services becomes like much faster one. Yes, and we've announced that. We've announced that it's operational now. We can onboard customers much faster, and we can jointly innovate and work with them to launch these, innovative offerings. Simple. In this region, in this part of the world, this is the summit, the event, and your publication and your summit and your series of events are the only one worth coming at, honestly. I mean, Tony, yourself, and the team are doing a brilliant job. You bring the key decision makers, the thought leaders, the influencers in our industry in this region, and you create the conditions for a very open and very rich debate, and there is something to be taken out of it. So not only we get to network and meet our peers in a very, very friendly environment, but also the quality of the debates that are there really set the scene of what is happening in this region. So all the shakers and movers are here. You want to be there, definitely.